Our next speaker, this is her third or fourth presentation. Another Shellhorn presenter. Also, her stage name is Janik. Her title, Dear Santa, I've Been Good.
Okay, I'm going to change it up a bit here. I'm going to be the guinea pig. Dave, let me know how it is back there. So right before Thanksgiving, Nancy said she only had 3 speakers for tonight. So I kind of enlisted my entire family, except for one who's in Nevada, to give a presentation. And since it's Christmas, I figured we had to have something fun tonight. So we're going to take a stroll down memory lane. Okay, hit it, Dave. So every generation thinks that their toys of their era was the best. So we're going to look at some of the most best-selling toys, Christmas toys, and we'll see if any of those were under your tree as you grew up. The teddy bear, this was a classic. From Paddington to Build-A-Bear, this toy is still timeless. It was inspired by President Teddy Roosevelt, who was on a hunt and refused to shoot a black bear. Hence, that name was Teddy's Bear. The radio flyer wagon was named after the invention of the radio and the plane. The yo-yo is one of the oldest toys. Its history goes back to 500 BC. Shirley Temple doll was one of the first dolls made after a celebrity. Every boy wanted a Red Ryder BB gun. We had finger paints. And how many of you guys had the Army plastic play sets? Pretty cool. Who knew that 80 feet of wire would be such a hit? Silly Putty actually was a chemical research project from World War II that didn't pan out, but it made a great toy. Sandboxes around the world saw lots of Tonka toys, which were released in 1955. And the Play-Doh was originally released as a wallpaper cleaner. Mr. Potato Head had his own first toy to have a commercial. It also was instrumental in getting kids to touch their vegetables. And many adults and children have been injured with the pogo stick since the 50s. Barbie. Every girl wanted a Barbie. First introduced in 1959. The Barbie franchise produced a lot of paraphernalia, including Ken, who was introduced in 1961. Well, if you wanted to bake, the Easy Bake Oven was the gift to have at that Christmas. Also, the rough and manly G.I. Joe had his own TV series. Etch-a-Sketch was mistakenly invented by an electrician, and Barbie got some prime real estate. Chatty Cathy, again, gave Barbie a run for money because she could speak and say 11 different sayings. Hot Wheels came out with their muscle cars, and you don't want to know the chemicals in the Super Ball. Everybody wanted a Nerf ball because you could play it inside and not really wreck any windows or lamps. Star Wars came out in 1977 and became a pop hit. Skateboarding was hot and was also part of American culture. Mattel's classic football was introduced as the first home gaming system. Baby Alive actually peed. And the pet rock, what a fad. I mean, people really bought into that. A million of them were sold for $4 a pop. Cabbage Patch dolls, really popular in '83. The boys got Transformers. Polly Pockets were small mini Barbies. And the Rubik's Cube is still the most popular puzzle game around. Nintendo was very popular, came in 1988. It brought a lot of young people, Pac-Man and Super Mario. The American Girl dolls also taught girls a little bit about important instances in history. It was just like driving your parents' car when you hopped into that cozy coupe. And Beanie Babies had a different feel because they were filled with plastic pellets. And the Super Soaker was developed by a NASA engineer, and that thing could blast water 50 feet. To infinity and beyond. Buzz Lightyear was one of the best-selling Christmas toys that year. The Tamagotchi was everybody's virtual pet until you forgot to feed it. The Bratz dolls were the anti-Barbie, and they were also multicultural. Frozen had a franchise of lots of dolls and a very annoying theme song if you heard it thousands of times. Technology was here to stay, and it got more entertaining and more complex. Robotic animals were also here to stay, and they are also more complex. Like this hamster can coo and snuggle, and this robotic puppy acts and talk and makes sounds just like a real puppy. So here are some of the creative things from this year. Not a lot of unique things. A lot of them I find are smart versions of toys from our past, which makes me realize that those simple concepts that we had in the past are really some enduring creative toys that we have today. And if any of you happen to have any wood or metal products from that early times, please see Rick in the back, because he'll buy them for you. They're worth a lot of money. Like that Shirley Temple doll was $2 when it was first produced. It's like $2,000 now. So Merry Christmas. Hope you get all the toys you want.
I don't know about you all, but Mr. Potato Head never really made me want to touch my vegetables.